welcome to iBerkshires TV. I'm Markel Shea, joined with Jeff Sununian, and we'd like to welcome you to our special holiday episode.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. We figured we'd do something just a little more relaxing, sort of give everybody a break and give us time to catch up on all the big news stories of Berkshire County. First of all, it's been a pleasure. We started the show about 6 months ago, and it's been great working with all of you. Happy holidays. Sure. We have our two news people, Tammy Daniels and Jack Garino, here to catch us up on stories from Pittsfield, Adams, Williamstown, all over the county. And I think we're going to start in Pittsfield. Yeah. We obviously had mayor's races, we had fiscal stuff, we had all sorts of going on. Tammy, catch us up if you would.
Well, I don't know. We've been talking about, what are sort of the big stories that happened in the county this past year. I think in Pittsfield, I think I'm going to go with Wayfair. The opening of Wayfair, the promise of 300 jobs, moving into the clock tower building. Yeah. It was a huge deal. It brought out the governor and lieutenant governor, and it really seemed like a real shot in the arm for Pittsfield to bring some jobs back in, even if they're call jobs. They're not manufacturing, but still, 300 jobs is nothing to sneeze at.
I know there was talk at Berkshire Regional Planning Commission, and there were a couple people who were kindly skeptical, said, well, we hope they deliver on those 300 jobs. They seem to be delivering. They said it was going to be a step process. Right. And I know they had a job fair this past Tuesday. So they seem to be delivering on what they promised right at the income level they promised as well. Yeah. Yeah.
I know that I actually was at a job fair with one of our sales representatives at iBerkshires. We were doing a table for Berkshire Jobs, our sponsor of this month. And I did see Wayfair there, and they had their own table set up, but right next to it was a table of applications just right there ready to go, which was awesome to see in our area for sure.
And I think we actually have a pretty decent demographic of ages here. We have people way into their careers, beginning their careers. So you're going to hear a lot of perspectives today on finding jobs, finding housing, and just how it is to live in Berkshire County as a 20-year-old, as a 40-year-old, as a person who's another age.
And Jack has started taking over covering parts of Pittsfield. Right, yeah. So what do you think is one of the top stories?
Me? Well, I came in kind of late, but...
One of the big ones that you maybe covered this year.
I mean, the election was big, obviously. We kind of had some stuff towards the end. I think one of the big things really towards the end was this tax rate issue.
There was a fight.
Up against the line there. They couldn't get something passed, and it was kind of a standoff between the mayor and city council. Yeah,
city council wanted to use more free cash money to reduce the tax rate. The mayor Linda Tyre, who just got elected to another 4-year term, which sort of sets where I think people want to go when they elected her. She has been insistent on trying to put more in reserves on the recommendation of the auditor. And it's the same thing that's played out in North Adams as well. Yep. In fact, we have the same auditors in North Adams as well. So this idea that, we've come through a bad patch. We're doing pretty well right now, but we need to put money away because the bad is going to come back, right? Yep. There's another, a recession is going to happen. Next year, maybe not. 5 years down the road, possibly. Yeah.
It's the eternal struggle always between save and spend, and I think maybe the mayor's race might have played a part in that, where you had some adversarial feelings with Mazzio, who great race, but ended up losing in the end, and a couple other city councilors who were sort of in her camp and the other camp, and stuff that just happens in a city with politics.
And they were able to convince other councilors to vote with them to go for putting more free cash. So, that obviously. But then when I looked at the numbers, when I did the numbers out, what it meant, taking that extra $250,000 they wanted meant the average taxpayer was going to save $10. Yeah. And I'm like, is it worth giving everybody $10 if you're not going to have that money set aside earning something? I don't know. I'm not a finance guy.
Yeah, more of a statement.
More. Yes, I think that's right. More of a statement of what they wanted to see going forward on that.
It's going to be a fairly new-looking council next year too.
Yes.
I think a lot of the votes were people that were leaving.
And it was a very heated election as well. Very
expensive election.
Very expensive election, and there were very strong voices on both sides. And I think it was a good election because there were a lot of things that were talked about.
You also had Adams had some stuff happen this year that it hadn't seen before. Adams and Cheshire, really. Adams had the history in Adams, people in Adams love their history, maybe more than any other town in the region, and they stick to it and they cling to it. Yeah. So you had, way back, of course, you had Adams Supermarket, which turned into Big Y, and then...
Yes, right. No. Adams Supermarket turned into Big Y, and now is Adams Hometown Market.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
I know you covered that, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty sudden. I remember coming in and the press release came out of nowhere that the Big Y was closing. Mm-hmm. I think that was 90 employees out of a job instantly. Yeah. And I don't know if you guys just being in Adams, it felt like a funeral almost in town.
It really was. It was, because people did still connect, people still called the Big Y Adams Supermarket.
Yeah.
And when it closed, it was brutal. I know the selectmen and the town manager, they were just bowled over. But it quickly came to be that somehow a place called Adams Hometown.
Yeah, I know.
It was just
which had nothing to do with the town at all. No, that's actually the name of the company.
Connecticut-based small market chain.
It's the name. It's the first name of the founder of the company. Yep. So that's
But it came just as suddenly. It was, I think, at a March Selectmen's meeting. Was on the agenda.
Nope.
I think the guy's name was Russ Greenlaw. He's vice president of operations at Adams Hometown Market. He just came in and said they plan to open in a month.
Yeah.
And I talked to him, and he said we're going to do this in 18 days, and it's the fastest time I've ever opened a market.
It's true. It did feel like it just kind of popped up, and it's been going great from what I can tell.
Yeah. They finally put their sign up. It seemed like it took months to get the sign up. They had a banner forever, but it was real. But I thought what was really interesting is that the Big Y really, even when I talked to their people, they were insisted that they were going to do everything they could to get somebody else into that market.
Yeah.
And part of it is the expansion of everything, really, not just markets, convenience stores, gas stations. Everybody's
Look at how many Cumberland Farms have popped up.
Right. Cumberland Farms has been on this building craze for like 10 years now.
I do more shopping at Cumberland Farms than I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Between coffee and a snack and a this and a that. And
gas.
Yes. And there's actually something kind of important in Adams that happened with the whole recommendation to adopt 40R, which is
this was a huge controversy.
To make it short, explanation is sort of to spur development. Some people disagree, some people agree, but I think we have two interesting perspectives here. You're kind of looking to get out on your own and find a place to live. 40R happens a lot in old mill buildings and stuff like that you do see young people move into who aren't ready to buy a house, don't want, or older people who are looking to sell a house and downsize.
Yeah.
So I'd love to, well, first of all, tell us about 40R and Adams recommended they adopt it.
Yeah, Monday night, I believe.
Monday night,
Yeah, well, I think this went back to a July planning board meeting, and they started this out, and no one liked it. I guess there was a lot of residents. It was kind of a barn burner of a meeting.
Yes.
And it went quite long, but I think the town pretty much said, there's a lot of misinformation. I don't let education that needs to be put out there. So they continued the hearing, and in between, they had a bunch of educational meetings. And I think the biggest thing they wanted to set the record straight with was affordable housing, not low-income housing. Yeah. Because it's a mix of market value housing, affordable housing, and commercial space. It's really mixed use, just an overlay that really targets existing structures and kind of they want to attract developers to come in.
Yeah.
To develop these properties that really aren't going to go anywhere unless you incentivize it.
I think the fear was that they, when they came out with the numbers, it said they could be up to 600 units, and I think that just freaked everybody out.
Yeah.
I mean, not like somebody's going to come in and just build 600 units. That's the potential in the long run. I mean, that probably will not happen.
And then, even if they did build them, who's going to fill it?
Yeah.
Then it's a matter of trying to fill them too, and getting people to move to this area.
This is to get private development. This is an incentive for private developers to come in and create housing, but to also ensure, and there's the word gentrification, right? Keeps getting thrown around that, these apartments are going to come in, they're going to be so expensive, but make sure that there is a percentage of these apartments that are going to be affordable to median income people, depending on what town you're in. And every town has a different income level.
Yeah. We were just discussing at the office the other day. We were talking, and you're looking for a place, right?
Yep. I mean, we talked about the things that people are looking for in an apartment nowadays when they don't want to buy a house. And I mean, I listed a few things like laundry and parking even. Sometimes you'll be looking for an apartment around here and there's no parking included at all. Well, how am I supposed to get to work, and where am I supposed to put my car?
Yeah.
So it's usually a big city problem, but it can be a problem in Adams.
Oh, yeah.
Adams parking.
Adams, Adams and North Adams were built around mills.
Yeah.
And so the houses were built next to the mills. You didn't need a car because you didn't have a car, number one. You walked to the mill. And you walked to your neighborhood school and you walked to your local grocery. We don't have that.
It's not like that anymore.
Right. We don't have that anymore.
People need things right away now.
Right, they need things right away, and they need to drive to Pittsfield or North Adams or Bennington to go to work.
That's the other thing about this area is that traveling to where you're working is definitely a big part of where people choose to live as well.
That's what Adams is really trying to do. They want people to live in Adams because they sell there. It's a great place to live. And they're hoping people would maybe work in Pittsfield.
Right, but you have access to all these other areas.
15 minutes from the middle of Adams to Allendale.
I don't
12 if I'm pushing it.
I don't think that when you mentioned Bennington, I don't think that people realize it's only a 20-minute drive from Adams to Bennington.
Yeah. And I think today more than ever, of course, with we're such a car society, people are willing to live where they want to live. People, if somebody wants to live in Bennington, they're probably willing to live in Bennington, even if they work in Pittsfield.
Right.
That's where they want to live.
But then that kind of almost brings up the issue of public transportation in this area. I mean, which is kind of limited from what I can tell.
Extremely, And then this is this is another. Transportation has been on the table for years. It's one of the things BRPC is constantly bringing up. How do we get the people who work to the places where they work at a reasonable time? We're constantly being shorted. I'm not even going to go into the MBTA because it's like a black hole in Boston. It's bigger than the Big Dig and money. And there's been other issues like over the past week. I see it. I don't even want to read this because I know it's just going to suck money out of the Berkshires.
It's actually a tax that we get no return from.
We get no return out of it.
And quite frankly, the way the MBTA is run nowadays, Suffolk County doesn't really get much return out of it.
Not either, right? It's just bad. But it does bring up another transportation point, which we didn't even think about because it's sort of waiting for it to happen, is the Berkshire Flyer. And the idea that we could have passenger rail moving its way west, finally. Or I shouldn't say finally, again, because you used to be able to get on a train and go to Boston in a reasonable amount of time, and then the trains all disappeared in favor of cars and the Mass Pike. And it's sort of like, we need public transportation.
Exactly. So all these
Maybe
things
it's
are kind
coming
of
back.
connected together.
It's back around.
Do you, people of your age group, just out of college, how willing are you to commute? How married are you? You're Williamstown. You grew up in Williamstown. Are you married to Williamstown, or are you willing to say, look, no, I really want to live in North Adams. It's walkable. They have nice restaurants to eat at, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. That's definitely something that I pay attention to when I am looking around, is that places like North Adams or even Pittsfield, finding places where it is walkable distance. But, again, going back to the whole transportation thing, is I feel like if you want to choose a town where you want to live in, you have to be able to commute and have the means to do that. So owning a car and stuff. So if you're getting somebody from a big city to try to move here, and maybe they've only relied on public transportation, well, how are they going to be able to get across? Everywhere.
Especially if you're working if you work at 6 a.m., I'm not sure what time the first bus.
I feel like it's not even until 8, maybe.
Might not make it.
Right, exactly.
And first of all, we need to say happy holidays also to Ryan, our incredible producer, director. He does all sorts of stuff for us, and he's also giving us the 1 or 2 minute sign. How about
we gotta go quick. We gotta go quick to Williamstown. Williamstown got a brand new police station. That was probably the biggest thing for them.
Pittsfield wants a brand new police station.
Wants it. North Adams wants it. It has a roof that's half finished on its old police station.
Cheshire needs a new police station. Adams needs a new police station.
Lanesboro needs a new police station. That might be the big thing coming into the next year. It's just like a police station.
And this is I have a big. Give me the big prediction for 2020 in Berkshire County.
The big prediction, bro. Boy, I don't know.
I can't wait all day, Tammy.
I'm going to say Wayfair. Wayfair is going to really take off.
Wayfair is going to keep
All right, I'll go with that.
Okay.
I think the train. I think the Berkshire Flyer. I think that's going to be hopefully a big thing.
A roller coaster in Berkshire County.
Let's work on getting
people in. The Berkshire Mall. Because I'm going to go back and say the big story of 2019 was the closure of the Berkshire Mall after a long, lingering death spiel. It was
dead and buried now.
It's dead and buried, and there's a huge piece of property there right in the center. That's
great accessible
piece of property. And I think maybe that might be the big story if something comes through about one of we going to do with that huge piece of property?
All right. What about you, Jeff?
I'm hoping that Cumberland Farms finally decides to build a big, fancy Cumberland Farm in Adams because I love their coffee and I love everything. They are not a sponsor, by the way, but I do go there a lot, and that little tiny cramped parking lot in Adams. So please, I live in Adams. The people of Adams, please accept a Cumberland Farm. You can put it in my neighborhood. I do not care. That's my big prediction, is that soon my life will be a lot less stressful because I will be able to park at Cumberland Farms and get coffee.
Well, I think they do plan to come back. They just need to find a new plan.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Pepe the Who's in real.
Yeah.
I could have 600 new neighbors. My prediction. But Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you all.
Thank you both for coming on and joining us and wrapping up the 2019 year with us.
Yeah, we obviously needed to do 2 parts of this because we had so much to talk about.
We did. I think we should probably do this once every couple of months. And thank you all for joining us. You guys all have a happy holidays, and we'll see you all in the new year.
Our own iBerkshires editor, Tammy Daniels, sat down with a special guest from Allen Heights Veterinary Hospital. Dr. Elizabeth Tullett is joining us to talk about pet safety this holiday season.
A big part of the holiday season is plenty of decorations in our homes and food that we all love to eat. But it may not be the best thing for those other creatures in your life, and that is your pets. And so we have with us Dr. Elizabeth Tullett of Allen Heights Veterinary Hospital to give us some advice on how to get through the holidays without endangering our fur babies. Welcome,
Hi.
Dr. T, right?
Yes.
That's what you tend to go by?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming in.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
So what can you tell us about having pets during the holidays?
Well, they go through it right along with us.
Right.
And what I mean by that is they're into our decorations, they're into the Christmas tree water, they're playing with all your Christmas decorations and sometimes eating it. They're eating our foods. They know about the schedule changes. They know about the influx and the outflux of guests and your own presence in and out of the house. They will sometimes raid the gifts that you've put under the tree or are hiding somewhere. Some cats love to eat plastics, for example. They suffer stress. If the house is super busy all of a sudden or you are gone for a week, they can experience stress. So that's what we're going to kind of touch on, is all those things. Or at least I want to touch on all those things today.
We're going to try to touch on all of those things. Yeah, I know. Part of the thing is you bring them in, particularly cats. I mean, for years that we had to decorate the tree in 2 ways. Glass on top, plastic on the bottom, right? So I was lucky I didn't have a lot of climbers, but I have a friend who has been posting video to Facebook of her cat mounting and dismounting from the Christmas tree.
Yep.
Without knocking it over, which I find amazing. But I also know they start chewing on things, and I mean there was concerns over poinsettias at one point, that you can't have poinsettias in the house, and I had to get rid of those. And then there were the glittery icicle strands that used to throw on the tree, which one of my cats got into and luckily got out of his system. And I had to ban those from the house. So what are some examples that you can give of issues that you've had with in your hospital?
Yeah. So the biggest concern would be the ingestion of the long stringy things.
Yeah.
And I had brought along some ribbon just to make the point. Like, this is a fantastic cat toy. They love this, and this can be all over your tree. It'll be around your gifts, and they are going to chew on that. And if they ingest a long enough piece, it'll get stuck in their intestines. And I was telling you before that I've actually removed 48 inches, and we measured this, 48 inches of ribbon, that's 4 feet, out of a cat's digestive tract. It was all in the intestines, and it was all bunched up.
Oh, my God.
But why that cat ate 4 feet of ribbon, who knows, but they do. So your tinsely, ribbony stuff, dangerous for cats, definitely. Dogs will eat it too, but it just doesn't seem to tie up their intestines as badly as it will with cats. Yeah. So it's a danger for dogs, but that's notorious for cats. String and cats, don't go.
Don't go. Yeah, and I would think the dog would be the one to be, most of my things has been the dog has been the one who's gotten into stuff that they really shouldn't have gotten into.
Right.
So what about foods? I mean, we all bring in, everybody has turkeys or hams or roast beef, but it's all the other fixings that go with it. Is, what should people not be giving Fido at the table?
Anything high fat and chocolate. Chocolate is the brownies, it's the frosting on the cookies, the chocolate chips in the cookies, what have you, the chocolate mousses and whatnot. And the other thing is high fat, and that depends on how you make it, but that could be giblets for animals that don't usually get the organs, the organs from your turkey. Don't suddenly give it to them. Gravies, the mashed potatoes with the sour cream and butter in them, that's high fat. Plain simple stuff like plain breast meat is going to be fine, but when you start adding all the other stuff on top of it, you're going to get digestive upset. And you could even give your pet or cause your pet to develop something called pancreatitis, which is a severe inflammation of the gut, the pancreas gland, and that can hospitalize them. So that's serious, and that's from high fat. Foods. So that's your biggest thing. And then chocolate because of the toxin.
Right, the chocolate. Well, that's interesting because one of the treats that we always gave our cats, and we would pull out the giblets out of the turkey, and they would be cooked.
You cook it up,
that's what the cats and the dogs would get for their Thanksgiving dinner. And I was doing that for years, and that's not a good thing to do.
Apparently. Might not be a good thing. Your dog's gut might not be able to handle it. Your cat gut probably could, but your dog, no.
Wow. Okay, so that's something to be careful of.
It is.
Yeah. And stress. You know. I mean, you're right. It's particularly. I think cats will hide sometimes. Dogs will get hyper agitated with a lot of people coming in. So, what are some calming ways that we can help our pets get through the holidays?
So, one thing that I like to tell my clients, and it sounds kind of fluky, is that just tell your pet what is going on. I'm going away for 3 days. Yeah. You know, just talk to them because they pick up on your vibe anyway. So you might as well just include them on your plans. So then there are other things you can do. There's calming like pheromones, like feel away is a pheromone. You can start to spray the house with that. DAP is the dog equivalent. It's a pheromone in a spray or a collar that they wear. And these pheromones are supposed to make them feel calmer, more confident. So you can try that. There's Rescue Remedy that's made for pets. That's a homeopathic, so it'll drop under the tongue that you give them. And homeopathic is something derived from an herbal medicine. It's a little fluky of a theory, but it does tend to help some animals, so Rescue Remedy. And then for animals that are really so stressed out that they're damaging themselves or your property, then we have to get into real drugs, the pharmaceuticals, and we'll get Xanax or alprazolam, trazodone. There's all kinds of drugs that we can use for animals to help them keep calm.
All right. And what else? I know you had brought a couple of examples of drugs, I believe. You wanted to make sure that they were spelled right. So what?
Well,
what
one is a toxin. And that's the one I wanted to make sure was spelled right. It's a very hard word. When you hear it, you don't know what it is, you won't spell it right. Xylitol.
Xylitol. Okay.
Yes.
So what is that?
It's an artificial sweetener, and it's in people foods, and it's notoriously in sugar-free gums and peanut butter. And the peanut butter doesn't have to be labeled sugar-free. It's just an artificial sweetener that shows up a lot in peanut butter. But it's in a bunch of other foods. So what it does is it will interfere with the glucose in your dog. Usually dogs will get into it because they're the ones eating peanut butter.
Right.
But it can do the same thing for cats. Doesn't do it so much for us people. Safe for us, but not for our dogs. So if you're buying peanut butter or just looking at an artificial sweetener and you see this funky word, this xylitol, which actually begins with an X, Y, not a Z.
Like Xena.
Right.
Princess Warrior.
Right. Xena, Princess Warrior, spelled with an X.
Right.
So yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, that's a big one, yeah. And I also wanted to touch base with you on something that, comes up, particularly because I saw somebody looking for kittens on Facebook, and they're like, I've heard a lot of that, that maybe because of the stress levels, it might not be the best time to be giving pets as gifts.
It is not. Yeah, we generally say it's not, and Easter isn't either. People like to do the bunnies and the chickens for Easter. But for Christmas, it's the puppies and kittens, and maybe bunnies. But animals aren't a great gift unless it's been planned by the family and everyone knows you're getting this animal, and you've already got the puppy crate and the litter pans, and you've got everything set to welcome this animal in. If you surprise someone with a pet, where is it going to go to the bathroom?
Right.
Who's going to run to the store and grab the food that it needs right now? You have to be prepared to bring an animal in.
Right. I think you also have to be prepared that the animal is going to be there after the holidays are over, and this is going to be it's a lifetime commitment.
Yeah.
It's not going to go away the next day. It's not going to stay small and cute. It's going to get big and loud and dirty sometimes.
And they need a lot of attention. They need to be raised.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's something to keep in mind if you're thinking, oh, I think I'll just get a kitten for the holidays. Make sure that you know you can take care of that kitten and that the person you may be giving it to wants and can care for that cat for the next 15 years or 18 or 21. That's how long one of my cats lived.
Yes,
21
they
years.
do.
So yeah, it's not just a couple of years. So we want to keep that in mind. So I want to thank you so much for coming. Tell us a little bit about Allen Heights Veterinary Hospital before we go.
All right, so Allen Heights is actually the oldest operating vet hospital in Pittsfield. It was started in either 1940 or 1941 with Dr. Tollett. I am the fourth owner. My husband and I own it now. We've been there about 12 years. I have a great core staff. They've been with me. They were actually employed by the previous owner, so they've been with me the entire time. Wow. They've stayed on this long. We've hired a few new people over the years. And, basically we enjoy doing small animal preventative medicine, general wellness. We do surgeries, dental work. I like to do acupuncture. I do a little bit of herbal medicine. So we're just kind of a general, all-service veterinary hospital.
Do you do small animals when you say guinea pigs, rabbits?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit of rabbit and guinea pig. I don't do lizards, I'll tell you that. Okay. I don't do much in the way of birds either. But small and furry, yes.
Small and furry you'll do. All right.
Yeah,
thank you so much for being on. And you gave us some great advice. Please keep that in mind when you've got your cat and your dog, your bunny over the holidays. Think about them a little bit as everything's going on. All right. And we'll see you and have a great holiday.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Pittsfield's own Tariq Pinkston, fitness trainer and motivational speaker, is going to join us today and help all our iBerkshires viewers, plus me and newswoman and editor Tammy Daniels, stay healthy not only during the holiday season, but all throughout 2020. Greetings, Berkshire County. Jeff Sununian from iBerkshires TV, along with our editor and newswoman, Tammy Daniels. We're joined by an incredibly special guest today. This is Tariq Pinkston from Life Reign.
Yes. From
right here in Pittsfield.
Yes.
And quite frankly, anywhere you want to be.
Yes, basically the slogan is rule your life. It's started off as a motivation, inspirational company, but I just so happen to love fitness. Fitness is something I've done on and off since elementary school. I remember doing push-ups and sit-ups because I thought that's what a man was all about. I'd literally pull my hair down and try to grow sideburns, things of that nature. And of course, there's more to a man than that. But this is just a goal and a dream of mine to be able to inspire physically as well as spiritually and mentally.
Well, we're coming into the new year, and everybody comes off of the Christmas holidays, and everybody's bloated with all the turkey and everything, and they come into the new year and they want to get fit and get ready, and a lot of times they lose steam because maybe they try to take on too much or they don't think they can do it. Mm-hmm. So it was interesting, we were talking before about the positivity that you're putting forward, and sort of how can your average person, just sort of keep focus, I guess, on how to keep fit and healthy in the new year? Well,
the things are going to happen. So life happens. So you might fall on and off, but don't get discouraged. See, my thing is this. You might get discouraged. We all get discouraged from time to time. But my thing is each morning I always tell every client that I work with, the youth, whoever, 3 affirmations, 3 positive affirmations. Wake up, look yourself in the mirror, and as hard as it is, say 3 good things about yourself. Whether it's, I got this, whether it's as basic as, I'm a good person, whether it's basic as, I'm making it to the gym today, I got this. You see the word, I don't care if you have a full-blown conversation with yourself, but that positive reinforcement really, really helps because there's a lot of things throughout the world and throughout life that'll leave you programmed to feeling less than. There's a lot of comparison. That's what I hinted on off camera, abundance thinking, scarcity thinking, but I could talk about that a little later. And the goal is this is my analogy. You're like a tree, right? When you dive into yourself, that's the deeper the roots go, right? So when things happen, the wind blows, the tree might shake. You might lose a branch. You might lose some leaves. But the foundation is set. So that foundation is telling yourself good things because let's be real. When you call mom, there's going to be times when you call mom, call dad, they're not going to be able to pick up. Call that good friend, they're not going to be able to pick up. But that's when you have to be your own biggest cheerleader and keep the faith. Okay. So that's a long answer.
That's a long answer to us, but that's okay. Positivity. So when you have that positive mind, what are sort of some exercises that people can do to sort of keep themselves focused? Especially, I'm thinking, I sit a lot at a desk. I'm always constantly typing, and I don't like running in the cold because it's cold. So maybe what are some things that we could be doing? You know, when you get up in the morning, you want to be positive. Is there sort of something you can do to get yourself moving?
I can say for me, I can't speak for everyone, but what I do is I always take at least 5 minutes for meditation, 5 minutes for myself. I wake up before the family because I have my kiddos and my wife and everybody. I wake up before them, and I'll take time for me. I'll set what I have to do for the day. I look at the calendar. I do all these things, and that basically will set me up for what I need to do, whether it's train the client, then go and get my workout in, you know, that type of thing. Some things that you could do throughout the day, sitting at the desk. What do you mean? Do you mean the internal work or do you mean the physical?
Physical work.
Physical, okay.
I spend a lot of time in my head when I'm working, so I need movement to sort of
one thing,
balance that.
Yeah. So one thing you can do is a lot of people do, but I wouldn't do this long term because eventually it will mess with your form. A lot of people will bring a static ball. They'll sit on the static ball, keep that core activated, keep you balanced.
If you had brought one of those, I could have had Jeff.
I do have one, but my kids made it like a bouncy ball, and I have to fill that thing back up like it should be. But I could have brought that. I didn't think to.
I have to put that on the list of things I want for the new year.
Yeah. But the thing is you want to limit that because what eventually happens is as you fatigue, your form will get even worse. You get slouchy. You get all. Yeah. You want to focus a lot on your posture and things of that nature. One thing I used to do also when I would sit at a desk, because I'm an athlete and there was a time when I was behind the computer quite a bit. I would work on my anterior tibialis. This is the muscle right in the front of the shin. And what that does is it helps you prevent shin splints when you work on that. So what I would do is I'd bring my toes up, and you should feel it like right away.
So you're working on some preventative stuff, so when you go do your tough workout, it's a little better.
Yes, because it starts from the feet up. Yeah. It doesn't start from the head down. It starts the foundation. This is what carries you, your legs, you know? Right. So that helps with ankle rolling, stuff like that. You know, you have the ankle stability exercises, stuff like that.
And what I'm hearing from you is a lot of stuff, everything builds on itself.
Yes.
When you say, well, I try to get up a few minutes early and do a little meditation, I'm a meditator myself.
Oh, you do?
But with that, I'm a TM guy.
Oh, okay. Good.
And what that really starts from is, first of all, you better get a good night's sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what builds up to a good night's sleep is having an active day, kind of wearing yourself out a little bit. So when you go to bed, your head isn't racing, taking care of your business before you lie down in bed, which, of course, stems from having a nice, productive work day.
Yeah.
So everything sort of builds up onto itself, and it can be the little things.
Yeah.
It's the little things. We all go to the gym, and we want to run like a crazy person. We want to. It's really that foundation you keep building and building and building.
Yes.
And I think it's important to know. It's really the little things. You can talk about doing this, but it prevents you from doing this with your ankle and twisting it.
Yes.
I know you can't see this on camera, and that's okay. We all know what it feels like to twist an ankle or to get shin splints. So it's the little tiny things that you can do. Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah.
Oh, twisting an ankle. I don't, well, anyways.
You played sports growing up?
I did, yeah.
So you played sports growing up too? Or?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit? Yeah, basketball, that would happen quite a bit.
Yeah. Talk about Life Rain.
Okay, so
first of all, how do we get in touch with you?
So basically, you can look me up. I'm on Instagram. You can also email me at liferaininfo@gmail.com.
And that is Life Rain, LYFE.
LYFEREIGN. Yes. Life Rain. So I spelled it a little funky because that's just that's the rebel in me.
Right.
You have to.
But the rain is basically just wanting to remind people that we are kings and queens on this earth, and we're here to do some good things and to enrich and to learn. And no one's more valuable, even if it's just you, the good dad on the block that sends your next generation of kids out to this world to just be positive teachers, role models, things of that nature. No one's better. So my thing is just to reinforce that it doesn't have to always be life camera actions.
Yeah.
It could be, I'm just that good dad. I'm just that really good mom. I just love my family. I love my kids. And you send them out into their world and they say, why are you so positive? Why are you like, because my mom and my dad loved me. they did the best they could. You know what I mean? And so that's one spin to it, but it's just reinforcing positivity and letting people know that they are worth it. They are so worth it.
If that's not a great holiday message, we were sitting around the office yesterday, we did a little something different today with the news, and our own Mel Calche was nervous because she wasn't so sure she was going to be ad-libbing, and she didn't feel she was great at it. Jack Areno was a little nervous today. You could hear it in his voice. They did great. It's just a little bit of belief.
Yeah.
And also, I think a little bit of, I don't know if not caring would be the word, but listen, you're trying something new.
Risk.
I read
a little risk.
I read this book, and I can't even tell you what the book is. I read so many books quite a bit. And it said, it's important to not take yourself so seriously, but take life seriously.
Yeah.
Isn't that a weird tongue twister, make you think a little bit? Wait, not take myself serious, but take life serious? Look, when I was on the radio, all that, I'd stumble over my words, I'd laugh, I'd joke, I'd just be me, and that's what worked. Just being you and who you are, and the people will love you. The people will like you, Well, normally. You never know.
And they were great this morning.
They were, yeah.
Fantastic, yes.
We did a good job.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to have a positive message go into the...
Yeah. So basically, I know we wanted to show more physical.
Yeah.
But I believe it's more about the mind state. There's more than enough as far as what's physical and as far as the direction's concerned.
Yeah.
But we gotta pay attention to this muscle here and pay attention to what's going on here in that heart.
That might be the thing, because we're talking about trying to make things easy for people. But if you're not in a state of mind,
yes,
that's what you need to be able to do the physical.
Yeah, there's gonna be times you're gonna. Yep. There's going to be times you're going to be discouraged. When I first really started, definitely working out, it was around 21. I'm 33 now. And I remember working out and looking in the mirror and going, and I just going really, really hard on myself about this. But you know what, man, I'm glad I stuck to it because it did something for me as far as my mind, and I was able to focus better. I was able to read those books. I was able to, because when you have that extra energy and you don't get rid of it, sometimes it could block you from your daily tasks or trying to learn in different ways and stuff like that.
Okay.
So
you provide personal training, right?
Yes.
So if anybody's in the mood to learn how to be positive about themselves and work on their physical health, they should get in contact with you.
And one goes with the other.
Yes.
He's one-stop shopping. We all look for one-stop shopping.
I know it's slightly different than the typical way, but my personality always says more.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to be here to provide a service, you have to focus on each area of that service. So there's going to be times when it's just going to be motivational speaking I'm doing. There's going to be times where it's just fitness, and my energy is what they feel, and that makes them feel better, But when I'm able to intertwine the two, that's when I really feel the most at home. That's when I feel the best, when I'm able to say, you're working on your physical, but you're much more than that.
Tariq, thank you so much for joining us. Really, thanks for coming in.
Yes, thank you. It was very, very good.
Thank you for joining. First of all, Tammy, thank you for joining us.
So
I'm leaving the heavy lifting to him.
I'm a little bit of a hugger. Do you mind?
I'm a Yankee, but okay.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll see you, man. Have a great Christmas. Have a great holiday.
Thank
you for joining us. Join us at iBerkshires TV again. And Tariq, thank you. Usually on this show, when people are done their segments, they're right out the door. They can't wait to leave. But because we're making a drink this morning, everybody is hung around. If you can see behind the camera, everybody is waiting for Methuselah to come in and make their mystery holiday drink.
I'm excited for sure.
Let's see
I want to have a little
Melissa-
concoction to show my family for the holidays.
And maybe it'll be the hit of the Christmas party.
Yes, for sure. We're getting into the holiday spirit here at iBerkshires TV. We're joined by Ryan here from Methuselah Bar in Pittsfield. How are you doing?
Good.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Now, what are you going to be showing us today here? We have a whole setup going on.
I'm going to show you the chocolate peppermint martini.
Awesome.
Right.
Do we happen to know who invented this? Was it Yuki yourself?
It was probably you.
It was probably Yuki. And by the way, get well soon. Yuki is not feeling well.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
But she'll be fine by New Year's Eve.
She'll be fine by New Year's
When
Eve.
it really matters.
Yeah.
And Ryan came in as a sub for Yuki today.
That's right.
So thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right. Well, I'll start off by coating the top of the glass with some candy cane powder. I'll have.
And right now you're rubbing a lime. This is a very well-known bartender trick.
You put that, makes it all sticky.
Okay.
Go ahead and dust that for me. I'll get rid of that.
Give it a nice little spin.
And if you can say, we have a couple of pre-made here, and they just look gorgeous. That is pulverized Candy canes.
Ooh.
It's perfect.
Ooh, it's like steaming a little bit. Okay.
Put that there.
Next step, ice.
Ice.
And if you guys can't see, right off camera here are two other iBerkshire employees, which we know
Tammy
is
and
Tammy
Jack,
Daniels
waiting
and
for
Jack
their
Reno,
turn.
waiting for the finished drinks.
I'm going to start off with the base liquor.
So ice, we have vodka.
Vodka.
What's that? A jigger?
That is a jigger.
How about that?
We know how much we're giving you guys.
Do we need to stick with the actual brands here? Or like if somebody really did want to try to make this at
you
home?
can make it with any kind of so Di Serono is an amaretto.
Okay.
So any kind of amaretto, any kind of vodka.
Vodka,
This is
amaretto, chocolate.
liqueur.
Okay.
All right.
All right, I'm just thinking about for people who maybe enjoy doing this and entertaining people, if
Yeah,
they really did
absolutely.
want to make something like this.
There you
I mean,
go.
it takes, what is it, 5 ingredients? Honestly.
Cream de cocoa. There's not a whole lot of different options for that one, but if you find it, it'll work.
Okay.
And then, saying this, I think we were talking about it earlier, I think this is the only brand of peppermint schnapps. And then top it off with some half and half. Ounce and a half.
How many of these do you sell in June?
In June,
Yeah.
hundreds. Hundreds. It's our most popular drink. You gotta shake it. You guys want to try to shake it?
How about you, Jeff?
I'll
I
shake
did
it.
the lime, so.
I'll shake it.
All right.
You go like this,
More aggressive.
and then you're gonna go to the other shoulder.
Nearly
there
mix
you go.
those
Sort of
ingredients.
foam it up.
In there, yeah.
All right.
There you go.
Wait a minute. I'm not,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
Close.
All right.
Right here.
All right.
Hit it on the side, and it pops.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right.
Then for the best part. Actually, the best part's drinking it.
Yeah.
Look at that pour.
Wow.
Careful not to shake the table too hard.
That's some of this is going to spill. Now, have you guys thought of maybe putting in some mint M&Ms or perhaps one of those Andes candies as garnish?
I mean, we can definitely look into it.
Okay, thank you. Please pass that on to the councilwoman. And first of all, you guys want to come on and try these? Do we want to talk a little about, you guys are having something on New Year's Eve, of course, Methuselah?
We're doing a dance party.
Yeah.
We've got a DJ named Jared. He's going to be coming in and DJing
Awesome.
for us.
Yeah. And
we have a dance party this weekend.
Really?
Our local bartender Justin's going to be DJing for it. So that's Friday night. So that should be a lot of fun too.
Are you open Christmas Eve?
We are not.
You are not open Christmas Eve, obviously not open
Taking
on
time
Christmas.
for the holidays. That's nice.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
All right, yeah, why don't we have you two come on up here?
Come on up.
Do a little
Right.
taste testing of this.
And the name of the drink is again?
Candy cane martini.
Candy cane martini.
Candy cane chocolate martini.
Candy cane chocolate martini.
I'll take mine that I made.
And just, obviously the show is taped, just FYI, it's like 11:30 in the morning.
Ooh!
And we're all technically working.
I wanted to move out of the way for you.
Right to the top.
I'm going to set it down. You guys can go for those
Come on
ones.
in.
I know what it tastes like. Plus, when you turn off the cameras, I'll make another one.
Alrighty. Cheers, guys.
This is Methuselah Bar and Lounge, Candy cane chocolate martini, Ryan Bonstein.
It's not too pepperminty
Delicious?
either.
No, it's not. It's nice.
Not too pepperminty.
I like the
it's
chocolate in
just
it.
right.
A+.
Yes. I think that the
Oh, yeah.
peppermint on the outside helps definitely
Yes.
too. A little something on the lips. Go for it.
Son of a... Very good. That's fantastic. How long have you been bartending?
7 years.
7 years. Holy cow, where'd you learn?
Las Vegas. That's where I'm from.
Ooh, okay.
Son of a gun. So wait a minute now. This might have just taken another turn. So we talk about all the time, we have trouble, jobs, whatever it is in Berkshire County. Why'd you move to Berkshire County?
I'll just try something new. I spent my whole life there, you know.
Really?
Moved somewhere different. I have a friend that lived out here. So
Okay, I was just about to say, how did you hear about us?
yeah, so he lived here. I was like, I'll come check it out, try something different.
And how long have you been here for?
Over a year now.
Okay.
Yeah,
What are
I
your
like
thoughts?
It's cold.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Where did you work in Las Vegas?
I worked at the Bellagio, and I worked
Oh,
at...
so you know that this is a good drink, then,
Holy cow.
which it is.
It is a good drink.
So Methuselah's lucky to have you.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sure they think so.
They think they are.
Did they let you get a little wild? Do you invent a Las Vegas style cocktail at Methuselah?
I'll make Vegas look bad. I wouldn't do that.
No dancing on the counter.
No, I mean, I try. We save that till the tail end of the night.
That's a really good cocktail.
I'm glad you like
Well,
it.
this was an awesome holiday
Yeah.
drink, and thank you so much for coming on and showing us in place of Yuki. That
Yes.
she feels better soon.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
and definitely
Yes.
to our viewers, check out Methuselah for even more cocktails, I'm sure, right?
Sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
definitely.
Very good. So
That's
Awesome.
incredible.
Yes.
You
we're
go
gonna
ahead.
say-
Oh, thanks, ladies first.
Yeah.
We're going to say all to our viewers.
I'll get the
Thank you
remnants.
for
Come on in.
watching us over the past
Happy holidays.
year.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Yep.
Merry Christmas, and come back and join us again, please.